We can control such things if we have the will to. Definition of will is the capacity for man to deliberate, determine, and assert his own course of actions. You know, God has granted man the freedom to do this for himself, independent of God. And whatever that God might want to happen at that certain point in time, we're independent. The children of Israel, they rebuilt the wall in Jerusalem in 52 days because they had a mind laid to work. They had the heart to work, and they built it. Big wall. 52 days. Stephen, speaking about Moses, says it came into his heart. He determined in his heart, him and him alone, that he was going to go visit his brethren, the children of Israel. 1 Corinthians 7:37, it speaks of the power of man's ability to abstain from sexual relations. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but hath power over his own will, and has so decreed in his heart. We have the ability to abstain from one of the strongest desires, fleshly desires of man. The will of man has this ability. We have the ability to change in whatever way that we choose. And we don't need to forget that we are created in the image of God. Mentioned Mark 12:30. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. Jesus said the first and greatest commandment was to love God with all of these God-given spiritual attributes. Heart, soul, mind, strength. Or in other words, with every ounce of our being. Now we consider the will and how we can control emotions and how we can control that inner part of man. Now when we consider those that could care less about college football today, okay? And then those of us that do care about college football. Now I could give you all sorts of reasons why I love the Auburn Tigers. But it really isn't going to matter to a hill of beans. I didn't graduate from there. I don't have any kids that graduated from there. I know people that graduated from there, but that's it. All these intangible reasons, and when I see them play, I have an affinity towards them. It does something. I love to hear James Ludicky preach the gospel. I love James Ludicky. I have made a decision to enjoy that. We have all made decision, a will, determined will to be here this morning. We control all of those emotions. Love is something we can control. Well, you have to work on it, right? You have to work. Love is something you got to work on. We're to love God with all of our heart, soul, and mind, and strength, is what he says. Since Jesus makes separate mention of these, there should be a clear-cut distinction between them, right? The heart is considered the emotions and affections of man. The soul, the inner personality, you know, it's what we pretty much think of when we consider that. And the conscience, mind, intellect, reasoning, and the strength, the free will of man. We love God with every ounce of our being, everything that we have. And they are used interchangeably, but yet they're also in very close connection with each other. Maybe this is a better way to look at it. Distinctly as a seat of man's emotions and affections, but interchangeable with the mind, soul, and strength. The heart. It is the spiritual side of man in all of this respect. You know, in the United States, we spend billions of dollars on heart health. You consider Everything from the gyms that you can go to, treadmills and stationary bicycles, to the clothing that you would buy to walk, run, marathons, to hike. You can consider doctors, nurses, insurance companies, the intermediaries between the doctors, the nurses, and the insurance companies. All of these things, there's billions of dollars that is spent, and it is all because man wants to live longer. Man wants his heart to be strong so he can live longer. What we need to do is we need to determine that as we go forward in these presentations today, that we consider, how can I, with these presentations that are about to come up, how can I better improve my heart and also better improve the hearts of all those around us? Because guess what? We have the ability to extend people's lives. We have that widget. It's God's Word. People just want to have to desire it and want it. Those are my thoughts, and I appreciate everyone's kind attention. Turn the services over.